So this book by Marco Tossa is an older edition of the book. I'll probably come to that later, but I'm giving the human Barbie perspective on the Barbie facts, the Barbie history, and the Barbie doll. Life in plastic is fantastic. So I will stop and interject my own commentary on chapters that I'm reading in the book. So I think Barbie unclothed is a wonderful thing, because you can then sit and think, which outfit do I want to dress Barbie up today wearing? And it does say that she is an international icon. She has that status. So the movie industry, Hollywood, has been represented by Barbie because she's been issued in Hollywood starlet dolls. She's been a character that she plays dress up. So it's good that Barbie herself, as a plastic iconic doll, plays dress up. So who has she been in Hollywood? She's been Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind. She's been, what's the name? Marilyn Monroe, of course. She has about 2 or 3 dolls from one of the Hollywood movies. I'm just going to turn the page. So it was The 7-Year Itch, where she wore the white dress. And it was also another one, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, where she wore the pink dress and then the red sequin dress. So basically, Barbie has got this wonderful glamorous image, but she's also not only been inspired by Hollywood movies over the years, she's also been issued as a theatre character, which we'll come to in another episode. But again, on the subject of iconic Hollywood movie characters, Barbie has just recently, we're in July 2021, she's been issued as the Black Widow. So Mattel and Marvel have created a character called Black Widow, which we're all familiar with. She was in the Avengers and her character died, and then now she's got a standalone movie which is just out in cinematic release. So the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, has got Black Widow as a Barbie doll. Yay! We love that. So this is what's really inspired me to look at this book, Barbie, 4 Decades of Fashion, Fantasy and Fun, because fantasy characters Barbie plays as well. So the MCU, Barbie is in the MCU now. How cool is that? It's absolutely blown my brain. So one thing that has brought to my attention Black Widow as a character is I just recently had to study the character, study the movie for an American podcast host, the Quick Critic, I believe, the QC. And we did on Sunday, filmed 4 people, the host and 3 guests. There was me, there was Tara, and there was another guy. So I'll put the link in this below, but I don't want to digress too much. So I had to really dig deep into the Black Widow character, and it was amazing. It was so inspirational. You know, you can be anything. And to empower anyone, not just female gender, to empower people to live out their fantasy and be a strong character in real life. And as the real life human Barbie, that's what I aim to do. So back to the book. So Barbie historically started out as a fashion doll. And in this book, we also look at the professions that she's had. The history of Barbie is absolutely powerful. It's amazing. But it was really, Barbie, I think, it started coming into her own in the 80s and 90s. Another movie that Barbie was in was Gone with the Wind. Again, that's another subject, another episode, I think, because I'm just gleaning through the book, seeing all of the characters that she plays. But my favourite, obviously, is Black Widow now because it's current. But the Marilyn Monroe character, I've always had some interest in Marilyn Monroe because as a child, I used to watch her movies all the time with my mum Joan, rest in peace. And we used to watch the Saturday matinees at about 2 o'clock or something like that, you know, sit down, watch the big, heavy, old-fashioned TVs of the 1970s and 80s. And that would be our form of entertainment. Now we can download a movie, we can watch it, Sky, whatever, platform, Netflix, you name it, we can go to the movie. And I recently went to the Leicester Square cinema. I think it was in Leicester Square. And it was amazing. You know, we get access now in this decade to all forms of platforms where we can share, create, and spread the voice around the world of our favourite characters. And Barbie really is a standalone character in her Barbie universe, which is what I like to call it. Just like the MCU, the Marvel's cinematic universe. So I love that Barbie has always got a voice culturally, politically. She was a president. Culturally, with all body shapes, all hair colours, all skin tones, all heights, all, you know, looks, fashion looks as well. And Ken as well, he's been issued in lots of different bodies and shapes. We even have wheelchair Barbie, wheelchair Ken. You know, it's amazing what we've done now in this decade based upon creating characters and bringing to my parody podcast subject, which is character motivation. What does this really mean? Create a character, be a character like I am Barbie, and to create character motivation throughout your day, your month, your year, and your decades as you grow and mature. Just like Barbie's grown and matured, she has always got character motivation being herself as an iconic plastic doll created by Mattel, and also when Barbie herself as a plastic doll plays dress up. So we can inspire young generation and older generations, gender non-specific. I love that. I love it so much. And this is the message that this podcast is going to bring to everyone about their own character motivation. So this is where we're going to end the podcast, guys, for today. It's just under 10 minutes. And in the near future, I have a schedule of filming the video podcast and doing studio showbiz guests who are lookalikes, actors, possibly a few models who have got a voice and an image that I really vibe with, even musicians. So showbiz guests are going to be on this podcast, but I wanted to start it to give Barbie her voice, and hopefully you're enjoying it so far. Thank you for listening to this podcast. I'm signing out now. Don't forget to download this on Apple iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, and all the other platforms. They're all out there, but whichever one you want to listen on. And I love you loads. Sending you lots of Barbie love and hugs from me, Rachel Evans, aka the Human Barbie. Bye, guys. Yay.